I have the fan on, and I'm having my second cup of coffee. And now it's sunny out where it was like raining and thunderstorming before. So imagine how, with the weather, how quickly things turn, how quickly things change. Anyway, I'm on a roll. I think the more caffeinated I get, the more I want to tell these stories. I talked about someone the other day that I knew briefly, when I was talking about, like, don't trust a man that doesn't have a type. And I was talking about a specific man that I dated briefly. We didn't get involved, but, he was intelligent. He was a nice person. He was someone that I would, like, bump into sporadically, and I would have liked to have kept as a friend, but I don't know, for whatever reason, I don't know. But anyway, one of the stories he told me, when we first met, was about his closet, okay? And he had told me that he had been married and that his wife got pregnant and she had a miscarriage, but it was like late term. So I don't know if that would be considered a stillbirth or what. But I didn't really ask him. It just kind of came up. And he sounded kind of like depressed when he was talking about it, which of course is understandable. But he had said that after that, everything went downhill, that I guess they were each grieving separately, and I don't know, and then they ended up getting divorced, and I don't think they were married a long time, But anyway, he said that there was this big closet. I don't know if it was in the place he was living in at the time or if they were living someplace else earlier, but he said there was this big closet and there was a lot of stuff in there for like years, and he didn't even go through it, and he just like left it there, and it was there for years, and then finally he like, this ties in with psychology too. I tie just about everything into psychology. He said that, like, after years of things just sitting there, he decided to go through the closet, and he found like a big package of baby formula that she had purchased, I guess, before the baby was born. Well, it wasn't born, but like she had gotten it and it way in advance. And he had to throw it out. It was expired. He couldn't even donate it. That's how long it was sitting there. And so, it's funny. The reason why I remember this was he told me that he waited a few years to clean out the closet and that he didn't even try dating or anything. I guess he was going through something emotionally. And, it's very symbolic. When you start, like, clearing things out, it's like you're clearing out your mind, your emotions, to like then propel yourself forward or to make yourself available to go forward or to have a change in your life. And so he had said, like, yeah, he got rid of the stuff out of the closet, that maybe some of her things were there, the baby formula. And then he went and put an ad and met me. So he hadn't really been involved with anyone since, And one thing I learned is it's not good to be like the first girlfriend after a serious, like a rebound. Sometimes it does work out if it's not really a rebound. Like if they've processed through everything and they've, But I just thought that was interesting. And it's making me, just now as I'm talking about it, I'm thinking about Anita, my friend that passed away on the 4th of July. And one of the things she used to say to me is, Jeannie, a cluttered house is the sign of a cluttered mind. And if your mind is feeling cluttered, unclutter your house and your environment, and the mind will follow. And she was right. And for the last couple of months, I've been living in a semi-cluttered environment because of the Swedish death cleaning and the windows and the toilet bowl replacement, and like, sharing a living space with another adult, and like, we get along because we're not like colliding that much. I don't know. I'm describing it where I think I'm like describing it, but someone that's listening might not grasp what I'm saying. So like, I don't have things set up conventionally, and I've actually had things set up like where like at any moment's notice I could just start packing. It's kind of like a weird way to live. I don't like it. It makes me feel very unsettled, and I think it does kind of clutter my mind a little bit. Um, I'm not one that really cries a lot, but in the last few months I've been crying a lot. I think that the stress, like with my mom and the friend passing, and not feeling well physically and other things, But then I'm wondering if some of it is like the way that I have things arranged. Like maybe I need to do a little feng shui while I'm still here. And I'm thinking of like trying to get a whole bunch of stuff and piling it up into the one bedroom upstairs that's still mine. The other spots belong to the other family member, because it's not fair to him. But but then when I think of all like the lifting and the moving, because I really don't want to put it on him to do it, to help me with it, but then I don't know, but a little too analytical. Early retirement is great, but right now I'm kind of in limbo. I'm not really, right now I don't want to be joining anything or in New York, because I'm not staying here that much longer, and God, I'm all over the place with this. But I just remembered that about the closet. It's like when they clear out the house, there was someone else. Well, I'm not going to say whether it's past or present, but that person, when they first met me, cleared their whole house out. Went to the garbage dump and everything. Yeah, I think that we hold on to things, from the past with the memories. A few hours ago, I talked about my ex-husband, and I started to cry a little bit. All I know is that, like, when I make my next physical move, I want to only take things that, like, I really, really like and really, really want. Because it's kind of good to get minimalist as you get older and downsize. And, yes, you want to take mementos, but I don't want to bring things that are like baggage. Like, I don't want to be carrying baggage around for the rest of my life, which might be shorter than, I'm hoping for. But I just don't like that. I don't want to be like that man that had all that stuff in his closet. He said, like, he didn't go in the closet for years. The whole thing was packed. He used another closet for, like, all of his stuff, and that one was, like, almost like a shrine. Oh, now speaking of shrine, I briefly dated someone a while back that was a widower, no children, and he was always talking. He was more of like he needed a friend and I was available, whatever. He needed to talk. I was like the therapist. And the wife wasn't dead that long, and he would just talk about her constantly. Constantly. But he was a nice man. And, at the time I was a little naive. Looking back, like, I wouldn't allow myself to be in that situation today, because it was like, I'm not a free therapist. But at the time it worked. And so I remember the same thing. He had a closet packed. And he had asked me, he said it was too painful for him to go through her things. And he had asked me to, like, he would get like a whole bunch of hefty bags to go there and to go through all of her, like, stuff. And, like, he described, like, what to put where. And he didn't even want to be in his apartment when it was being done. That's how upset he was. So I went through all of his stuff, like an employee, through all of her stuff. And, I put things in certain piles. Like, he had described what would be okay to donate and what to put aside and this and that. And I had an instinct about something. There was like this round particle board table that had a tablecloth over it, and something told me there was something underneath it. So I looked underneath it and I was correct. There was a large makeup trunk. And, me being a woman and having had, cosmetics and accoutrements and everything, I opened it up and I looked inside of it. She was real sloppy and messy with her makeup, but yet the clothing was hung almost like a museum. And it led me to believe that after she died, that he had actually gone in that closet and, like, arranged things, almost like a shrine or an altar, and that she herself was a slob, and that he had done, like, the neat freak stuff with her things. And it had been like that for a couple of years, because some of the clothing, like he said, like, it would be okay to bag it up for donations. Like if it had like an elastic waist and you kind of like pulled it, like it kind of like disintegrated. I think another woman would understand this, not a man. Like, in other words, it was like sitting there and it got dried out. I don't know. I'm trying to describe it. But yeah, that was like another thing where the closet was left alone and it was like a shrine. And I don't know, like, I think I'm overthinking things. Like, I think that I should leave things the way they are now and, like, just deal with my own mental clutter. I'm sorry. I don't even know if anyone listens to this or if it's helpful or what, but, like, when I do these things where I talk about stuff, it's like therapy, but without a therapist, but I don't have to pay a copay. And also, down the road, I could come back and listen to it, and then, like, I've seen, like, what I was thinking at a certain time and how I've moved forward, and, where in areas of my life where I've been stuck. It's actually quite helpful. It's like having a diary, but not having to write. Yeah, so anyway, everybody have a great day. Bye.